regular. All right, everybody, welcome back to 100 Proof Whitetails, episode number 67.
67. We are so close to 69, and that's gotta be
a giveaway night.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give something away.
We're gonna have to.
Maybe a knife.
Yeah.
No one wants to buy them, so I guess we gotta give them away.
Yeah, we probably gotta just give stuff away now.
We're just giving shit away.
Yeah, net loss operation, dude. So,
yeah.
Don't mind the
Just
toilets
donating.
flushing in our high-tech studio here. We were talking about that before we started.
That is a brown trout swimming downstream from Larry's asshole.
Jesus. I guess.
All right. Ben's father-in-law.
All right. Anyway, so episode 67. If you saw from the title, we're going to be talking about Jake's Day and a handful of other things.
We don't even know what we're going to talk about, honestly. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
We're just hopping on here because we haven't been on in a couple weeks, and we're like, man, we should probably put something out there.
Yep.
No one wants to buy them, so I guess we got to give them away.
Yep. We're good. Check the audio. All right. Yeah, so Jake's Day.
I actually gave 3 of them away.
Knives?
Yeah.
Good viewers, man.
They're good supporters.
Good friends, good viewers.
Good supporters.
So, anyway, tonight is my dog Bear's birthday, so he's down running around I say studio, but it's the bar in the basement.
I gave him a raw egg for his birthday.
Yep. So we gave him a whole bunch of treats and goodies. He's 5 today.
Big 5. He had a near-death experience, and he overcame it.
Yeah. I knock on wood, dude. He's doing really good. Thanks to everybody at Cornell that helped diagnose him and get him the medication he needs to live a happy, energy-filled life. I mean, he almost took Nate out when he came in the door today. He's like, that's my fucking buddy! But anyway, nope, he's back to his normal puppy bear self now, dude.
Humping blankets and everything.
Yep, he's living his best life. So, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about tonight. It's mostly just a get on, touch base, because we haven't been on in like at least 2 weeks.
More than that.
Maybe 3.
Maybe we're going on 3.
Because I think we did the last episode before Jake's Day, so yeah, it would have been...
Jake's Day was a few weeks ago.
Yep, that was a few weekends ago. So that went good. I guess we'll start there. Jake's Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great turnout. You were chasing the kids around with Will.
Yeah, it was awesome. Will's kids showed up. I'll tell you what, Will's kids were involved in everything. I don't think there's one thing there they didn't try. Well, they didn't paint rocks. That was the only thing they didn't do.
No.
They built the birdhouse. They tie-dyed shirts. They went over and climbed into the duck blind and played with the duck calls, and they had the duck spread out there. I believe they shot the bows. I think they shot the bows before I met up with them. And then they went and shot the guns.
Mm-hmm.
And then Will's daughter, Charlotte, did not shoot the trap house.
Mm-hmm.
But his son did. I got some of that on video. That was cool. It was the first time he ever shot a gun. Was that there?
Dude. That's what it's all about. And I think we...
and then we played on the playground. We completely forgot about the raffles.
Yep, so...
Never got a ticket.
I won a fishing pole. Well, Nora won a fishing pole.
I won a fish pole. Wasn't I supposed to get a turkey call? Never got that either.
Hey, they handed those out like halfway through the raffle. I was like, Norm, you need to hand out the calls.
He was going to keep them.
So, yeah, want to give a shout out to Cartel Calls. They made sure every kid at Jake's Day went home with a mouth call.
Shout out to Tyler Breen.
Yep, Tyler Breen and Trent and Brandon. I'm trying to think who's been over there too. Garrett, Dan Grunman. I think that's everybody that's been stamping calls lately, Brandon was saying. They just, well, actually, hold on that. I got inside information, but I don't know if I'm allowed to spill it. So, it's about them bridging into the next marketplace. So, before, I'll tease that a little bit, but before I go and throw that out there on the open airwaves, I want to make sure that it's a public thing and not a private thing at the moment. But Cartel, dude, is moving up. I mean, they don't come on our show anymore. They got their TikTok lives and working class bow hunters. We're just a couple of dudes hanging out in a basement next to a bar. with a video camera. But it's a good time. But yeah, so they donated the turkey calls at cost for that event. And actually, we're going to have to up the request from them next year because they ran out of calls. So I'm assuming that means we had over 125 kids there. Because I think they stamped out 120, 125 calls.
Unless it was like the Whitetails Unlimited banquet, where 14-year or 21-year-olds were considered 14-year-olds.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on that, dude.
Or because your daughter, you bought a ticket for your daughter and she stayed home with your wife.
But you got a youth raffle ticket to win.
You got a youth raffle ticket to go up there and win a gun.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was good.
But they paid their money, and I think that's all Whitetails Unlimited was worried about. We don't care who wins it. Just give us your money.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah. But, yep, we had a table set up there. Me and my dad were there. My mom was there too. Nora was there. Toward the end of the event when Hannah got there or whatnot. But we had like a bunch of different furs out there. I had Jeff, the big full body deer there. And stuff for people to get hands on, ask questions about. And I was actually surprised. The kids knew a lot of the furs, dude.
My name's Jeff.
Yep. But we got Jeff there. Heritage was there running the archery station. There's a couple local guys running the duck and goose spread stuff. I don't know if they were an outfitter or just a couple guys. Didn't actually catch their names. And then, but they did a write up on that event. Norm's been doing that event for over 30 years now. That Jake's Day.
Norm
Ridley.
Oh, okay.
Norm Ridley. So, and we have our follow-up meeting tomorrow about Jake's Day and our upcoming clam bake in September for a fundraiser.
We're doing a clam bake?
The NWTF branches.
Yeah. So, are we doing the fucking barbecue?
I don't know. We need to pick a weekend, dude.
You plan it and I'll make it happen. It just can't be the last weekend in August. It's the only
Can't be the last weekend in August.
It cannot.
And we want to make it be...
Second or last weekend of August cannot.
Okay. We'll discuss that after the show.
Ben's like, I only got those weekends off.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it was a great day. Big turnout. Yeah, all in all, it's good, and we'll look forward to doing it again next year, dude.
Yeah, it was a great time. Owen had a blast.
Yeah, Laura was there. She made a bunch of friends. She had a cute little NWTF. There's Bear Dog. Birthday boy.
There's the birthday boy making his appearance. Good dog. Good dog. All right, no scratching in the ribs.
But yeah, other than that, dude, it was
good.
It was good. Looking forward to the next one. Like I said, we got to figure out if we're doing a chicken barbecue again. If we do it, do you want to do it the same as last year, or you want to step up, go buckhorn?
I say we do the raffle with it, even if it is just like a small raffle.
Couple items, or.
So I feel like everyone that came and picked up a dinner was like wanting to hang out and have a beer.
Yeah. So I think we do buckhorn and party it.
Or the fire hall if it's still open.
Yeah, actually, we had Kyle actually
Kyle
pre-preserved a day for us. So actually, let's see what day Kyle had and see if we got it on any of our calendars. We might be booking this live right now on the show.
It's the only time we get to work on this stuff.
Yeah. 20th of September is what he penciled in.
It's not bad. I don't think I have anything going on.
I have nothing on my calendar. Finanza's 2 weeks before that.
So if we do it, it's going to be that, and it's going to be at the Phelps Fire Hall. You will see the post.
Yep. Thank you, Kyle.
Same chicken.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody that's wondering.
Yep.
We had a lot of people love the chicken.
Same recipe. Same
recipe.
Deal. Nora will be a little bit older. Kids will be running around having a good time. I like it, dude. I'm liking it a lot. So also want to give a big thanks to Nate for hooking me up with my new gun safe.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks good.
It is a nice safe.
I got most of my main guns in that safe, and then like more of my decorative ones or like off calibers where I don't have the ammo. That's in my main glass like display case, like the pretty ones, the ones that aren't getting used. But my used ones and everything are in that safe.
I put one in there for you when I came down.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that 22.
I didn't give you a gun.
That 22 that was sitting outside of it. That's my rat shooter.
Yeah. Which we might go shoot rats after this.
Yeah,
Ben
we were
has
talking.
rats.
We were talking about doing a live show from the back patio
And shooting rats.
and shooting rats live on the
I
show.
feel like that would get a lot of attention.
But I think we'd get canceled for guns. Be like, hold on, I gotta step out of frame. We got one in the garden. But yeah, live out in the country. I got rats underneath my chicken coop. So, yeah.
So, I guess leading in with your gun safe thing.
Yep.
So, a guy at work told me he had his gun safe. Said if I help him get it out of there, I could have it. I'm like, well, I already have a gun safe. I don't need it. He goes, well, sell it. I'm like, all right. So, call Ben. Ben says, yep, drop it off. So, I bring it here. Well, I go to the guy's house to pick it up. I help him get it out of there. And he comes over this tree, which is like, I don't know.
Tree?
15 yards from his house. He's got this big hedgerow. He lives on this big hill.
Okay.
And there's this hedgerow that splits his property and the neighbor's property all the way down. And this hedgerow has like this ravine cut down it, like a narrow ravine. It's almost like a ditch, but it's gotta be like 10 plus feet deep.
Just like a big drainage cut.
Right at this base where the drainage cut washes out into his driveway down to the road, there's a mulberry tree.
Ooh, I like a good mulberry.
And he was sitting there and he was explaining to me how these deer walk down that drainage ditch.
Down in it or up top?
In it.
Oh, down to the bottom of it.
They walk down to the bottom in it, all the way down. And when the mulberries, like right now, they're dropping and they're all ripe, they go in his driveway every evening. He sent me videos and pictures of it. And they're eating these mulberries.
Yeah, it's a good food source, dude.
So he was telling me, he goes, so on your show, he goes, bring up the mulberries. He goes, maybe with your food plot. And I was like, well, the idea of a food plot is for like October. I don't really think mulberry trees are too productive in October, early November. Sure. I was like, but I like the way you're thinking, and I will bring up your take on this.
Yep. No, I like feeding, being able to feed wildlife year round. They definitely have a place and a purpose. I would like more of them out there for the soft mass, for that summertime and everything like that. And obviously they're full of deer, when they're dropping. Absolutely. Raccoons are in them all the time too. Bears, I'm sure, in the southern tier. Which actually, I guess there was a bear sighting just the other day again here in Phelps.
Yeah, there's been a couple of them.
So, I'm thinking I'm assuming it's a young male. He's on borrowed time. Somebody's gonna catch up with him.
Think so?
Yeah. There's only so many little wood blocks around. He can't really just like go disappear. But maybe it's Nate. We were talking about that before this. Ben's only killed like one deer. Nate's over here stacking and whacking dozens of them.
I think it's Jesse.
Well,
he tells Nicole he's going to work, but he's actually dressing up in a bear costume and walking around.
I thought you meant
buddy's properties.
I thought you were talking Jesse being a killer, which Jesse is a killer.
Jesse's definitely a killer.
So, yeah, going back to that, dude, like
he's more than a killer.
Yeah. So that was one of the
almost like a psycho killer. Psycho killer.
He's Kyle Tiffany tuning in says, "Evening cheers."
Kyle, we were just talking about you.
Yep, talking about the
September 20th still open, the fire hall.
Yeah, he's got the name on it, so. But, yep, I think we are gonna lock that in. My wife's watching right now, so she's probably like, "We got something that weekend." If we did, she'd probably comment it. So,
maybe.
But yeah.
Or she'll just yell at you when she gets home.
No.
She don't yell at you.
Kyle says, "Yup."
Yup.
Good deal, man. We're looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
So is that do you guys have a full bar? Or do we bring our own stuff, or well, we can talk to you about details like that later.
I think they got a full bar. We might have to supply beer.
I think, if I remember right,
But I know they got liquor.
I think all the proceeds from that goes to the fire department.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Yep, absolutely. I'm all
cash
for
bar
that.
and all the bar proceeds go to the bar.
Which would be no different than if we did it at the Buckhorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good time. We got to get through the raffle box over there and come up with some ideas for the thing. You know what we could do, Nate? Because I don't think I'm ever going to use it.
I got some stuff at the house too. We could raffle.
Yeah, we got some stuff we picked up.
I got some old gun cabinets.
I'm thinking if we can do it and like make it make sense. I'm debating about doing that. Savage 6.5 as a prize. The one I got from the Whitetails banquet. We just need an FFL.
Sure, we can find one.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be like the big prize or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, or do a deck of cards on it or something.
That.
It just depends on how many. I
got.
Or we sell them ahead of time and we sell, some day of the event too. But that leads more tickets to.
I got a couple gun cabinets that I don't use that I could.
Stuff.
We could like live auction off. If we make $25 on them, we make $25 on them. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever.
Yeah. 100 proof party.
They're just sitting in my attic.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I got a couple good I gotta sell. Especially now that I got that safe.
But either way, I don't know. This time of year, what's everybody doing for deer season? I don't know.
Well, it's not the hottest day of the year. Well, knock on wood. It's not the hottest day of the year yet, but I think next week.
This weekend's gonna be rough. It's gonna be in the 90s.
Well, I think next week though, when it probably hits 90s again, you're gonna call me and say, "Hey, you want to do my stands?"
It's not August yet.
That's true.
And I can't believe how much that frickin' sumac grew in front of my blind. Holy.
The tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't even see the tower from the bottom of the hill now.
Well, when you open up that an area like that, dude, it pops hard. It really does. That sumac loves it. But anyway, dude, we got...
So you want fast-growing cover, just plant sumac.
Yeah,
it's actually good thermal cover, too. It stays cool under sumac. You ever walk into a sumac?
Oh, for the summertime?
Yeah.
Yeah, those shade pockets it makes.
I think they'd make good buck bedding. You make those little sumac patches, like kind of
100%, dude.
out away from like your timber bedding, like on the edge of your food and everything.
Well, I've always had them bed like.
You put them sumac, and they're soft, so I bet you they like rubbing on them too.
Love this. They rub the snot out of them. Turkeys eat the snot out of the red berries. They fly up in them and beat the seeds out of them in the wintertime. It's a great wildlife tree, dude. The problem is they love browsing on it when it's young too. So it's once they get up and established, they're good. But for the first couple of years, unless you got a lot of them,
no wonder they got to grow so fast.
Get out of the browse pressure.
Get out of the browse pressure.
And the rub line. I mean, if you ever gone into those sumac pockets, dude, usually if there's a buck bedding around there, or if there's even a doe bedding area around that, those are shredded. Absolutely shredded. So I like them. Again, another good wildlife tree, another good native. My mom says muzzleloader and crossbow, no FFL needed. Give your dad the gun. Oh boy. Kyle says grow Christmas trees. They love them too. Yeah, I'm sure you get a lot of rub pressure over there on it.
Give him a laughy.
Give him a laughy emoji.
Yeah, give him a laughy.
But yeah, we'll have to see. I'm sure we'll get.
Kyle, are you gonna sell them Christmas trees, or are you just like growing them to grow them?
I think they're doing a U-cut this year. I think they've done a U-cut in the past.
It's gonna be tough to persuade Liza to switch.
She's local. Support.
Wow,
local.
they're all local. I ain't driving.
Yeah, I mean
I'm not driving over 15 minutes to get a Christmas tree.
That is a good point from my mom with the muzzleloader crossbow idea. No FFL needed. Dad give the gun. What's Dad need a 6.5 for?
Yeah, Terry. Why does he give it to me?
Does Dad want to get off that 243 train and jump to the 6.5 train?
He should. It's way better than a 243. Even though I do love my.
I didn't know he wanted it. I'll have to talk to him this.
So was that like a thing? 243 guys merge into 6.5 because I was a 243 guy, and then I won that 6.5, and I wasn't trying to jump on the bandwagon or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I won it. And I'm like, well, I won it. I put a nice scope on it.
Sure.
I put the Vortex Diamondback on it,
Mm-hmm.
4x12. Went out, shot it, loved it. Like I think I killed those the first time I took it out. I killed those 2 doe. You helped me come out and stacked them up with it.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, this thing is a murdering machine.
That was in the corn there. We tucked the blind in, right?
No.
No.
That was on top of the hill. Remember, I picked up. I didn't tell you I shot 2. I told you I shot 1. And we went and we picked the one up in the back. And on the way back, and I'm like looking, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, looking for the other one I shot. And you're like, "You shot another one?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Oh, there she is."
Oh, piece of candy. Oh, but yeah. No, that's a good idea. Yeah, Kyle Tiffany says, yeah, this year you cut. Yeah, good deal. Good deal, man.
Kyle, will you come cut with me?
I'm sure he'll come cut it down for you if you give him an extra tip. Give him the blue chew tip. Flip him a blue chew.
Flip him blue chew.
That's one of our ongoing jokes is Blue Chew is a sponsor of this show, which they're not.
So we had a guy.
Say it.
We had a guy, or I don't know, somebody tell us that if you guys are looking for sponsors, Blue Chew
will
sponsor anybody, no matter the size of your platform, anything. So that's been an ongoing joke ever since then. Is that we're gonna be?
That's gonna be our first sponsor.
We're gonna. That's gonna be our first sponsor. Is Blue Chew.
Yep. But no, we have a lot of supporters. Just nobody gives us like money
or credit.
Or credit. Except for you and me were saying, dude, we'd have a couple people reach out and they're like, "Are you not doing the podcast anymore? Like we've been looking for you guys."
Every once in a while, yeah. There's a couple people at work that'll come up to me.
Yeah. Yep, I've had
a couple people. Off season, man. Like
Yeah, we're all busy. It's summertime, graduation parties. I mean, we got invited to a bunch of those. I'm not going.
Graduation parties, weddings, vacations,
home projects.
Like, I mean,
yeah,
the summertime's rough.
Yeah, you've got your new barn and everything. That's looking freaking phenomenal.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm ready to announce that yet.
No, that's all good. It's all good, but it's looking good, dude. It's all pretty. Good comment, Dave. I like this one. I have a shooter showing up every evening in the daylight by himself. What's the chance he will stick around till October? By himself, I think, is a better shot than a bachelor group and trying to pick one out of that bachelor group and wondering if he's going to stay. I would say definitely got to keep fall food on there, keep pressure down, and that's going to be your best bet on it.
Kill him early.
And get on him early. So
start planning your strategy to kill him now. You have to kill him in that first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, our plan and strategy is changing by the week. Because at first it was we were going to be able to have a drill to put corn in with, and then it turned into the tractor's down, and now fast forward to where we are now, I still don't have corn in the ground. Luckily I have shorter term corn, but you know,
I think you just roll it.
At this point,
don't plant nothing. Just roll it.
Oh no, I got a bunch of sorghum that everybody wanted me to order too, because that was the.
Well, don't plant corn then. Plant the sorghum.
I know. It's gonna be one or the other.
You need 50%.
What's that?
For the sorghum.
Give me 50%.
50%.
It's German.
You bought it.
Money wise?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about the money side of it. I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say 50%.
Don't worry about the money. I'll take 50% of it.
If you got a place for it, I told you could put some in with your mix.
Yeah, I got places.
So, it's getting into the last window for screening grass, corn. If you're on like low 100-day corn, you're getting really tight on that window. Sorghum, you're pretty good. That's like 90 usually, so you're pretty good on corn. Or sorghum, rather.
Call Ken.
Yeah, I think he's got enough on his plate with what's been going on. I think he's going to have to replant some.
Sorghum!
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ugh. Problem is it's only going to bring does, and Ken doesn't shoot does.
He likes them.
I know, he likes looking at them. I don't know.
But his theory is does, the more does you have, the more bucks are going to come. That's always been his theory.
Well, the problem with that is family groups sink and cycle. and I can show you the board to support that. The serial killer board over there. Those sync and cycle. Family groups and areas sync and cycle. So what you end up having, if you have a group of 10 and 2 or 3 come into season...
Don't argue with Ken's theory.
I'm going to argue with Ken's theory.
He's not even on here to defend himself.
Okay. Other people's theories are.
No, go into it. Go into it. But we do have to roll back into David Todd's.
Yeah. So, I think does are going to sink, and what that means is if those 4 does, let's say you have in that family group, only 1 or 2 of them get broke off by a buck.
What if the family is like 20?
Well, then that's even going to multiply it out even further. You can't sustain that many bucks. They're not going to be able to stand that much social pressure around them. You're not going to be able to hold them. So,
with 20?
You're not going to have the area for the bucks. You're going to have bucks come from miles and miles away.
I think you're going to have small-bodied bucks.
Oh, they're just going to be going crazy because those does are going to keep trickling estrus cycles. Like, okay, so you get the first 4 out of that 20 bred, and then the next group you get maybe 2 or 3 because a handful of your bucks got killed during gun and bow season. And then fast forward again, so now you're at the end of December. Okay, and then you're getting 1 or 2 more bred, but you still have does cycling maybe into January, fawns coming into estrus maybe in January. Those bucks are run out completely. Whereas you'll have better antler production, better fawn recruitment rate because your fawns won't be trickling out in the spring the next year. You're going to have those does bred in a good timely manner so they all can get bred in those different family groups and increase your success on it. You're going to see more bucks with more segmented does. I'm not saying reduce and eliminate your doe population, but you need to break them up.
Which an individual like Ken,
bigger farmer, yeah, bigger acreage,
benefit from a strategy like that.
You got to break them up
because he has the acreage.
100%.
He's hunting.
Break them up, and I think that farm would hunt 10 times better.
100 to 200 acres. He's
in
not
a property, sure.
60 acres,
sure. Yeah, I think breaking those family groups up is absolutely critical. It has been critical to our success. And how especially you can pattern those bucks, time of year, locations, areas on a property, etc. So, I will throw Dave's comment up there again.
Fair.
So,
knock it off.
With
your birthday, but
yeah. So, yeah, I would say,
where's his ball?
I think it's under the step. That's why he's hitting the hell out of it.
I'll get it.
So yeah, with your comment, Dave, I think food early, food mid, food late. So like we talk about splitting your plots, year to year to year, where you got some in clover, some in turnips, in that field or that area. That way you can start rotating your crops accordingly. I think is where you're going to benefit with that, with keeping good consistent food there for him coming out of this summer. But I think if he's there and he feels safe and secure and he's not getting pressured around and he's got area to be and he's not overrun with does, it's possible. Especially I would look back at your previous trail cam pictures and see if it's a buck you recognize from last year. Even if it's a buck that's not there at the beginning of season but he comes back sometime in November. Like if right now you could start to pretty much start to see that frame if it's going to be one of those bucks that you might recognize from a year or 2 prior. And then look back at that date that you got a picture of him or an encounter with him, and then give him a chance at getting a crack at him then too. It's something we've had success with. Because some of the bucks we have in the summer and then they leave, a good amount of them we retain, but we still do have some that come and go. But a lot of them will come back during the fall at some point. Now it might not be a home body like we call them, but it'll be a buck that comes back through on a breeding mission or something, and typically it'll be around the same date that you see other bucks come and do that. So whether that's like the 12th or the 16th or something in November, some of these spots we see interloper bucks come off of a different piece of property that aren't home bodies, but we have bucks like consistently on those days coming in year after year in spots because that's when our does are synced out in those spots. So the only thing that my mom suggested might throw a wrinkle in that is like a leap year with Nora, so I'll see how that tracks because Nora was born like 2 years ago, so we'll see if the data keeps tracking accordingly. But we kind of shade it as a 24 hours. So if it's like November 1st, like we shade that to October 31st and November 2nd. You know what I mean? Like we kind of play either side of the 48. So it's almost like a 72-hour window, I guess, if you want to boil it down to that, but I think that's the big thing is look at historical patterns, keep good food on there, keep your pressure and your good hunting strategy on point with it. Maybe make a few new stand sets that might um, be popping up with stuff that you're seeing from doing a couple years of changing stuff up. I know you put in a big new pond and a couple other things, so stuff's changed since the last time I was there. Pretty much, is what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I'm out that way a lot, Dave. So let me know. I'd love to come out and have a bourbon with you. That's one of the ones. Actually, I might go have a pour of that. That sounds really good tonight. The old Knob Creek Tin Woodsman. It's a good one. It's a really good one. From a liquor store that doesn't exist anymore. But they picked a really good bottle of bourbon for that single barrel pick. So, anyway.
I think.
So what's your take on it, Nate? I'm gonna grab that.
I think it's gonna be tough.
It's always a flip a coin,
I mean, just keeping the pressure off and then trying to kill them within the first 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Try not to put too much pressure on it. Hunt it smart and do the best you can to try and get him while he's on that feeding pattern. It also depends on what is out there right now. I mean, if he's out there in beans, he's most likely not going to be out there by the second week of October feeding on beans. So,
yeah, that's the other thing. Good point, Nate, to bring that up. Where are you getting him on camera? Are you getting him like down in the swamp where it's cool right now, like big hardwoods, or are you where are you seeing him?
yeah, are you out?
That's a good point.
Is he out in a cornfield? Like, that's odd. But
I've seen him day bed in corn if that's the only structure around, but there's not a ton of ag around.
he's not. Well, I guess they could bed in corn if right now if it was like 18 inches tall or so, they could lay down in it and feel covered. But I mean, it really depends on. In my opinion, it really depends on why he's there.
Sure. All right. Dave's got a couple comments to paint the rest of the picture.
So Dave, when you're looking to paint the picture of a deer, I was always told you got to look for the what, why, and when. So you got this deer showing up on camera every day. He's piquing your interest, so you got to figure out what he's doing there, which sounds like you did. He's eating. Why is he there? What kind of food's there? Is there low pressure? Is there good bedding off to one side? And you gotta think of all these things like, is it a spot that might, hold this deer? And then you go, where? All right, which direction is he coming from? What wind should I be hunting him on? Well, what kind of weather is he coming out on? Is he coming out at, 5? Is he coming out last half hour? Is he coming out at 1 in the afternoon? You got to think of those three things. What, why, and when.
Yeah, so this is a good comment to paint the rest of the picture. He might be the same buck from 2 years ago, but I only saw him once last year. As he grows through July, I'll be able to tell if he's the same one. So I'd look back.
So water's key.
Yeah, I'd look back at that,
It's hot.
that historical stuff.
You got pictures of him drinking?
Seeing him in the mature hemlock stand near the pond. I think he's bedding there more for the summertime stuff. But what you do is you paint that better picture of that property with the food being better, the less intrusion being better, and then just hunt him smart and see. Yeah, he's drinking more water than any deer I've ever seen. He comes between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. So he's day bedding in there and then coming through. He's day bedding somewhere close, whether it's on yours or on a neighbor's and coming in there.
And he's day bedding there because of the water. Because it's been so
cool.
hot.
Yeah.
And those hemlocks, I'm
Full
sure
thermal,
they got a nice canopy. They're provided
it's
some
like
cover.
It's like a reverse thermal, if that makes sense. It's thermal in the winter, but it's also thermal protection in the summer because it's full close canopy. Dark woods, and it holds a lot of moisture too, so it's dark, damp woods.
So I would say your best shot, in my opinion, of killing that deer is keeping the pressure off. Just stay out of that area. Don't go anywhere near until that first week of October. And make sure, if you do go in, make sure you have that set up specific for, for a specific weather pattern, a specific wind, make sure you have access that will get you around where he is coming from to go to that water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're banking on the weather. I mean, if the weather tanks and it starts getting super cold super early all of a sudden, then, the whole strategy's screwed. But, I mean, it's a game. It's a chess game. You're playing the weather. There's so many variables involved in it to make a perfect analysis. But I think that's the best thing you could do. You go in there. If you do go in there, make sure you do a setup where you're going to get a shot at the trail that he's...
Or don't even go in there and blow it up. Because you could blow any chance you got at him at that season. Because if he's feeling no pressure and all of a sudden he feels pressure, he could be gone.
He could. But, I mean, if it's a one-time thing, I think he'll let it go.
Yeah. Especially if you can get the situation being right for the stand set in there.
Like, you got to have a stand set up. If you can't, if you, I don't know, maybe if you're comfortable hunting on the ground, I got some buddies that do that.
It's tough. It's tough for big, mature whitetail dude on the ground. It's tough for anything on the ground, but big, mature bucks and does are they're tough. Especially bow range.
My guess is the weather's going to turn a little cooler.
And he's going to shift beddings.
And he's he's probably not going to stick around, unfortunately.
I'd go back to the historical data then, especially if you think it's the same buck you've had in the past.
If you have... But your chances of killing him are fairly high because he's local.
If he's there and early, sure.
If he's there early, especially when the pressure starts getting put on, especially if, with this crossbow thing going on, and the amount of pressure these deer are going to get earlier than normal.
Yeah, I think
he might go back and just be like,
I'm going back where I felt nothing all summer.
I got my nice little water hole and nothing was bothering me. There's another variable you got to put into there. The changing in the laws.
Yep.
Now, you're not just going to have the vertical bow hunters out there October 1st. You're going to have 50% more people out there now. October 1st.
Yeah.
So the pressure is going to be high. So this is going to even put a worse situation on gun season for success because the pressure is going to be so high for so long.
Well,
that's my
take.
Topic. That's my take.
I like the topic, dude. It's starting to make it feel like deer season a little bit. Speaking of that, dude, this is the first year and probably, it's the first year I've had like a 16-month-old too. But it's the first time I haven't had a majority of my cameras deployed by July 4th. Usually it's like July 4th weekend I go crazy and get a bunch of them out. But I got all my cards cleared. I got a whole bunch of batteries. I'm ready to go. I just need to find time to get them out there. I'm hoping before I leave for St. Louis here in 2 weeks. So I'm thinking maybe to even do a show when I'm in St. Louis here coming up. We'll see.
Do one with Tim.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Tim going down with you?
Yep, we might do it. I'm going down Saturday. I'm going down early for an extra day of roundtable discussion with our CMA software that we use, or CRM software, that we use, and how we can use that. Because I think, dude, that's been my key to, at this point, I've way surpassed where I was last year. So, very happy, dude, with how it's fallen together.
It's good.
I'm having successful, pieces I've sold, possibly going back to market for, setup and flips from the hunting side of it. So I got potential listings coming. I got buyers that are referring me to other folks that are buying now, so I'm getting word of mouth referrals from that too. So yeah, dude, it's going really good on the whitetail property side to it. So, and we'll do it. I pulled up a property that I want to talk about and feature on the podcast, but tying it back around, we'll do that when we hit a little low point in conversation. I want to keep this good conversation going that we got right now.
So I kind of want to roll back into Dave's thing.
Okay, I'm all for it, man. Let's rip on it.
So Dave, if there's a spot you can get to, seeing he's there consistently every day, if you can get there and actually watch him from a distance with like a spotting scope or binoculars and actually see, not necessarily like where your camera's showing, you have like a 30-foot idea of what that deer's doing.
One trail, maybe two. Yeah.
Right. But you don't know what he's doing past that view.
Sure.
So if
He's
you
hooking
could,
it,
if there's a spot that you can get where you're going to be safe and away, you can get up on there and you can watch him.
Yeah, I'm saying
move around. He might actually just be walking around that pond, or he might be
in that hemlock stand loafing, or
he might be just bedding 10 yards in the woods. He might come out, drink, and just go right back. You don't really know, but if you could get in there and you could put eyes on him and figure out where he's coming from, where he's liking to sleep, and then you got to start putting the notes in. This is when the serial killer shit comes in.
Yep.
You go in there and, all right, it's this wind. I know I can sit here and I can see where he's coming out on his normal trail on that camera at 5 or 8 and see where he goes in. He might be bedding in different spots on different winds. Like you can sit there and watch him and be like, all right, it's a solid west wind. He goes in on this trail. Or he comes out on this trail. And then he goes back in on this trail. Like, that's...
Or
like, you can really narrow that thing down if you got the time.
Again, if you got the right conditions to go in and do that. I would say setting back on that spot 100 yards or better from where you're anticipating he's coming from or going to. Like Nate said, you're doing long-range observation at this point. You're not trying to get in there, bow stand range on him or whatever. We're not saying that, and I wouldn't go in there trying to, I get guys that message me and they're like, hey, I got a buck on my property. I want to go in there and start doing some habitat work right now or something right where he's bedding. If he's already using the spot, I wouldn't go in there and screw around with it too much. I would go work on the other habitat on that property, specifically that food that he can relate to from that area, and see that you can keep him on a consistent pattern. But, go ahead.
So Dave has a lovely woman on his shoulder in his picture. I'm assuming it's his wife.
That's Mrs. Dave.
Now, is this the pond they just put in? That this deer's drinking out
of? Maybe. That's possible.
All right. Now, there are family events at this pond because this pond was put in.
Yeah.
Do the kids / grandkids / wife like to go to this pond? That's a whole nother variable you're going to have to take into consideration. Easiest thing would be no one goes to this pond. The hardest thing, and it's really going to screw you, is yes.
Enjoyment.
My wife likes to swim in that pond, or my wife likes to walk
paddleboard it, or whatever.
Or my kids love going and shooting frogs with their BB gun in that pond.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a balance.
You gotta balance that out and figure out what's more important to you.
The other serial killer kind of tip that I'll go into that observation data with is looking how that deer reacts with other deer. That would specifically let me know, like, how he reacts with other deer that come in the area. And I'm not just saying bucks, I'm saying does. Is he aggressive? Is he timid? This will give you keys that, like, is it a deer I'll even call to during season if I see him? Because if he's a timid deer, or even if he's acting somewhat, standoffish or whatever towards does, that can even give you a little bit of the insight into his mind a little bit to get his personality.
If he's solo, He's not responding to a call.
I don't think he's gonna, dude. I usually
If
those,
he's already solo, he's not responding.
Yeah, he's not a. I'm trying to think what deer were really solo guys. Curly was, well, I can't say Curly was after all of his buddies got shot. That was the weird thing with Curly. Like, it was Curly, Larry, Moe, and then there's like one or two other bucks with him. But then once those bucks get older, dude, you really see a lot of those older bucks step away. And you and me talked about that, with how, like, older people, even relate to that with, like, a party or a get-together or whatever, you know what I mean? We were talking about that the other day. So, they don't want to be out there socializing and stuff anymore. They want to just get back away from stuff, and be kind of back on the
I think it's
backside.
more an experience thing with the more mature deer. They're not in there.
Don't need to.
I mean, they'll fight if they have to, but they're not in there trying to. I think they know by the scent. I think they know when a deer is ready, where the younger deer, those 3.5-year-olds / under, are still completely trying to figure that out.
Yep.
I think they're...
and some places a 3 might be your biggest.
I think they can smell it first. They know. Like, all right, that's what I'm looking for. And they're usually probably the first ones there.
Yeah, you're keying on it. 100%.
They're not there. They're playing... I mean, watch... how many times have you seen a buck parade through the woods? When's the biggest buck come through?
Tail.
He's last.
He's either first on that doe's ass because she's right, or he's last.
There you go. Every time I've seen it, he's last. I've never seen him up front.
I've seen him up front and then other bucks.
If he's up front, there's no other bucks tailing her.
Usually.
Until, like,
later
maybe
on
half,
in the morning.
yeah,
Sure.
later on in the day,
That's
something
fair.
picks up the trail.
That's fair.
But, it's Mother Nature. What the hell, yeah.
I love Dave. I try to keep the pond quiet at 5 p.m. No swimming in the pond. Our deck is about 90 yards from where he comes out. He'll tolerate minor movement from us. Yeah, he's a different dude, man. But as the summer wears on and goes into the fall, you guys will be not out there as much or whatever,
But if he already is semi-tolerant of people being out there, then, just keep doing what you're doing. It's only going to better your chances.
Yeah, I wouldn't go pushing
He's
the
already
envelope.
smelled you. He's already heard you. He's
Sure.
already, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, keeping that consistent.
Yeah. So he's not getting them on camera. He's getting them on sight.
Just
So.
go sit on your dock with a beer, and so he knows where he's going in and out.
Yeah. All right, I gotta get Bear out of here. There you go. You take that comment. I'm gonna get Bear up. I'm gonna put Bear upstairs.
He tolerates doe near him, but he will chase off other bucks. Slightly odd for this time of year, I would say. Normally they're pretty social animals. I guess if he really is got some age on him and he really is that old of a deer, I guess, he don't want to hang out with anybody.
Yeah,
Unless they hang out with
they're all individuals, but I would definitely say if you think it's that same deer, I would look at what days you had him 2 years ago and what days you had him last year on camera too, and see if you can pick up some kind of pattern with that. For sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, all I heard was Bear heavy breathing, and I hope you guys didn't hear all that heavy breathing on the mic, but usually that mic's pretty good at canceling out background noise.
This one works good.
So.
Nah, I'm not going to say that.
My mom had a comment come in. We've had deer that don't socialize at all. My dad's got one doe in the backyard. He's had her for a couple years, probably 3 years now. 2 or 3 anyway. Was a fawn whose mom got hit late. I think like August maybe? Late July or August. So at that point mostly off of the milk. And she just always hung around the backyard, and she always still hangs around the backyard, and she'll come and go by herself. She's always by herself. And she's not a big doe. She's kind of like a medium, small-sized doe. Even now that she's 2-3 years old.
She's got a lot of attitude.
So, No, she just doesn't.
The other women don't want to hang with her.
And yeah, like no Doe family group like goes and adopts her or anything like that. And
What do they call it?
Orphan Annie, my dad calls her.
That's a boss bitch.
Yeah, but she's not aggressive, dude. She just doesn't. She doesn't hang. You know. Yeah, Dave says stop by, have a bourbon. Maybe we'll go do a podcast from Dave's house.
Where the hell's Dave live?
So that would be.
You can say town. You don't have to say his address.
Yeah, so that would be 123 Naples Way. No, he's out east of here. About an hour, probably about an hour. We got to do one with your Uncle Josh too. We keep saying we got to have all these people on. We got to actually sit down and have some folks on. Even if we have them, we can have a call-in link. If you got a webcam and good internet service, we can actually have you, come in.
I want to do it with Josh and Beanie.
Yeah.
Those two guys smart motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like Uncle Josh is good. Don't get me
But
wrong.
we got to go down there.
Uncle
too,
Josh is like, he's good, but fucking Beanie's a fucking brilliant fucking dude.
Yeah. I could dig on it. Pick a day. Put it on the calendar, just like the barbecue. Put it on the calendar, and we gotta fucking do it. 'Cause it's on the calendar.
I would bet money that Beanie might throw something at you that kind of blows your mind.
I love having my mind blown.
I'm telling you,
I love having my mind blown with it.
guy's fucking good. Knows what he's talking about.
So, yep. So, what else we got? Jake's Day, Blue Chew. I think we honestly should just reach out to him.
I think we just reach out to him. If we get Blue Chew sponsored, it's a sponsorship.
Everybody comes to Chicken Barbecue, gets a Blue Chew.
I'll kill deer with a Blue Chew hat on. I don't care.
Oh boy.
Actually, it would be fun and funny.
It would be unique. But yeah, in all seriousness, if anybody,
keep your arrow hard.
We've talked about that. If anybody wants to help out and sponsor, the episode, anything like that, be happy to give you a shout out for your business plug or anything like that. Or if you want to donate it anonymous, we'll say thank you to viewer.
I'm gonna have to
anonymous.
sponsor my own.
Because right now it's been anonymous Nate, anonymous Ben, and a couple people that have bought shirts and stuff from us. But that's about it.
We get good support.
Yeah. So we do. We have good family and friend support for sure, and the viewers. We love our viewers, all you guys. At least we got
all 5 of you.
All 5 of you, including one from Pennsylvania. Both
we
our mothers.
We say it every episode.
Both our mothers.
I say it every episode. No, my mom don't watch.
Plap.
No, Plap don't watch. Terry.
And Dave.
Is our
Bo's gone.
One.
Bo's gone.
Bo gave up on us.
Yeah. After he learned that I shot a deer with a crossbow, he gave up on us.
He's slightly plotting some stuff in his basement ever since the
He's
law
probably
got
a
passed.
huge crossbow hunter. And he just likes to stir that pot. But yeah, my mom said Orphan Annie doesn't fight or interact at all with any deer.
Bo will jump back on a deer season.
At some point he probably will. You're right. But anyway, shooting the bow. I shot the bow 2 weeks ago. Shot pretty good. I got to go shoot. I'd like to go shoot this week, but I don't know if I'll have time. I might go shoot tomorrow. But went over to the lease today. Everything's looking good. We got to get cameras out, but the stands look pretty good. We don't need to do too much trimming.
Well, stands are...
I have two new spots that I've kind of picked out.
I have one stand.
Yeah, and I want to use.
It's my favorite stand.
I think I have plenty too. I have the one in the garage that you sold me last year or 2 years ago now.
2 big bucks got killed out of that stand.
Oh, the love stand.
It's leaning up against my shed.
That stand's a killer though. There's a lot of deer that died in that stand.
It was a fox stand.
Fox throwaway.
What
was it?
It's got Connor Fox's
good juju on it.
Good juju on it.
Good Naples juju.
Good Naples juju. Stand came from Naples.
Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad one for the pond spot that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about putting one by that seasonal pond over there.
The pond spot's rough.
That's like a funky northeast wind spot.
For like bow hunting?
Yeah.
I'd have to look at the pictures to see. Because honestly, a lot of deer come out. I mean, if it stays hot.
That pond is deeper than I've ever seen it over there. Yep. That pond is deeper than I've ever seen it over there.
Jeff tuned in.
Jeff Fox. What's going on, Jeff? Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Jeff.
You
score any more deer, Jeff?
We gotta do
I got
one.
2 more to score.
I was going to say, we got a couple more to do.
You can come hang out, have a beer, score one of them.
I can't do it.
Ben can score both.
Nepotism. Nepotism.
What is nepotism?
That's like favoring people that are close to you.
Oh, you can't do it?
I probably could. I think you're going to get a better score if Jeff scores it.
What are you talking about?
You tell me all
You
the
don't
time.
even know this guy.
I thought you were talking about your deer.
No. No.
Okay.
My gun buck wouldn't have made it.
Neither would mine.
My gun buck didn't make it.
No.
I'm talking about Steve, the guy at work.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that before. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
He told me he thinks it goes 160, and he showed me a picture. I said, if just by looking at it, I said, I'm thinking low 150s. I said, but it's just a picture, so.
True.
I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough to judge him by a picture. But,
it is a hell of a deer, though.
So yeah, I'm thinking one by the pond at the lease, and then one. You know that cherry tree that we talked about when we were turkey hunting over there.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's kind of like out on that island.
I'm just gonna sit in the napping spot.
I want a
rifle.
Well, the Napa spot would be pretty solid too. Oh, they also cut down your
Southwest wing.
They also cut down your locust tree by the fuel oil tank that you sat next to. Where you shot your deer last year.
That's all right. The propane tank was the
old diesel tank.
Oh, that was the blind.
The old diesel tank for that cover scent. But yeah, that, and I want to put one, but I want to put I think I have a couple down in the barn at the farm. We took the ladder sections out to make 20 footers. Bought like 3 stands, sacrificed one to make 20 footers with. So I think we have like a 4-foot, 5-foot ladder to get you off the ground and kind of up in that clump on that cherry tree that's out in that island. I think that would be pretty good to have a stand up on that, because you can get in through that roll on the back, come up into it and sit like right back up into that big cluster clump on that cherry tree that's out kind of on that island. And then you can probably almost see, you can see that whole western field from that spot where we couldn't see that from the ground blind last year. And you could probably see most of that ridge going across the hayfield up top too. Sniper spot. And it's all within.
Then
it's all within like 200
and then
yards.
last night,
or 250.
Last light. If you don't see anything, here you just climb down. You go over to the next hill.
The truck's there. Oh yeah, we did that the one night. We're like, nothing's in the field. We got 10 minutes left. Let's slink over the top. See what we got. But anyway, what else we got? Oh, Jeff says 20 feet up. That's a nosebleed stand. I've had a couple over the years that are pretty looking over your toes, over the ravines. I love those spots though. Well, actually, I love the next stand that I kill a big buck out of. That's the one I look forward to the most. It's the next one. That's what I want. I want the next one. The love stand's got some good juju on it though. That's a valid point.
Rocky.
Is there any? No, you
Dave's
said
Big
you
Eight.
You said you wanted to put one down by where you got your buck over there last year. But closer to like the edge. You were saying where like that small pond is where you walk in.
Yeah.
You were saying you were thinking one in there, kind of where that hill wraps in tight.
Yeah.
And then goes up around that junk pile, kind of.
I mean, you gotta shoot the yard. That's the problem.
Just gotta shoot the yard.
You gotta shoot in the yard. That's where they go.
Hey, dude, it was that spot in third week of October turned on with buck. That was our best camera location. Was like this apple tree in the corner of this yard.
Yeah.
I mean, we say yard. It's like a couple hundred yards from the house, but it's a big yard. But, you know, But yeah, they kind of cut that little corner to go around that end of that hill there and wrap up. So yeah, we'll see. We gotta get cameras out there and see. We heard a couple bucks from a couple neighbors we met over in that neighborhood. That a couple good ones made it. So we'll see. I think the 166 made it, not the Twin Tower buck. That's what we were calling him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twin Towers. He had the big brow tines, that big 6. I hope he made it. That'd be cool. But the other 6-point we had made it. And then I think Flyer, he said, made it too. I think he had a picture of Flyer. So that was a buck I let go.
Is that the neighbor?
Yeah. The one from archery leagues. Yep. So yeah. Tornadoes. Wrapping up the show with tornadoes. We had tornadoes touchdown. We're fine. Didn't even blow my canopy off. We lucked out, thankfully. But we know some people that had woodlots, crops. I don't know anybody that had any like personal home damage, but there's some folks in our community that lost roofs, shingles, all sorts of property damage.
Campers.
We know a farmer that lost some crops, lost some woods. Was basically like a clear cut went through. We had one of those half dozen years ago, small little microburst, wind jam, took out a whole hedgerow line of stuff. But nothing to this extent. But yeah, that's unfortunate, dude. But we've been definitely seeing some crazy volatile weather the last few years. So
it's the end of times. Revelation.
It's the end of times, I guess. It's the end of times. Dave Todd says 20 feet is up there. A little high for me, 15-foot max. I mean, most of our stands are 15 foot, the standard 15, 16 footers.
I try to get 17, 18s.
Yeah. It depends.
I don't really think it matters.
I think it more depends on
the cover around you.
Your cover around you, your approach and exit, and how you manipulate trails in and around that stand if you can.
How you hunt it.
How you hunt it is more important than like how high you hunt it. If that makes sense. In a lot of stands. Some of them you got to get up there and out of sight lines, but that's site specific. But most of our stuff is 15 foot or less, I would say. Our towers definitely aren't 15 foot. They're like 10.
Not even.
Yeah, 9, 10, something like that. But
all right. Well, I think it's a good spot to wrap it up.
I think so too. I think we had a good time, good show. Want to do my I want to do my featured property from Whitetail Properties of the episode. This was my broker's idea, but I'm going to use my platform. So this is a beautiful property we have down in Tioga County, Waverly. This is on whitetailproperties.com. You can search all of our listings and everything down there. This one's a great property. We just did a price improvement on this one, 28 acres, $160,000. It's got a nice little rustic camp on it with an outhouse, so there's no like the direct indoor plumbing, but there's electricity. Tower blinds are already set up on the property. Little bar, camp area already set up. This thing's like turnkey, ready to go for this hunting season. So beautiful. It's got trails in it. Like I said, the barn's, there for your tractor and implements or whatever you want to do, or convert more space into like lodging for, friends. Another small outbuilding on it. Like I said, a couple shooting shacks, ready to go, man. So beautiful piece. And if you're interested in more information, you can contact me today, or if you're looking for property anywhere. It's got a nice shape, really good for north wind access down along this end, and then you can come, because you got a lot of road frontage, you can come around the other end, blow your scent toward this house and pond, and come in the backside of it too. So it's great from a hunting standpoint and just a recreational getaway standpoint. So close, but not too close to civilization too. So yeah, nice piece, dude. We'll sell it. It'll get there. But we got a lot of new inventory coming. I got a lot of new buyers looking, so I'm definitely looking forward to the next couple weeks, and then going away to sales conference in St. Louis for a few days. So meet up with all the other agents in the country and learn from them too. So
Dave, thank you for that.
Yeah, Dave. Appreciate it. Yeah, life gets in the way, but hopefully you're out there watching that big buck right now. Come out and take a drink as you're sipping on a bourbon and laughing at a couple of yokels like us.
I hope you get them, whether some of our thoughts help you out or not. And I hope you line up with them. At least get an opportunity at them. Whether you kill them or not, that's up to you.
Yep.
If the deer presents the opportunity,
shoot your bow.
Nothing else matters but what you're doing. No, is the shot.
I definitely say got to get out and shoot the bow. I'm loving the way my new bow's shooting.
Poor Bonnie's Matthews now.
Hey, I don't know, dude. I outshot a couple of Hoyt guys yesterday. A couple of elite guys.
Oh, God. I know them guys. I ain't too worried about it. You wait till I show up.
Yeah, no, I need someone to push me. Nate, I was shooting good, and then I got laxed. Do you know how that's going?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna crush you. You keep shooting with them guys, I'm gonna crush you next time.
I took the foot off the gas, dude, and I braked, and I was ready. I was shooting up. I was up at like target 16.
Cocky.
Not cocky, dude. It was like there wasn't anybody to chase. You know what I mean? You always shoot. You and me always shoot better, dude, when we're shooting like right with each other. You kind of push to elevate yourself, you know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all,
when
you
the guy,
and me want to be on top.
Yeah. When the other guy's like 8 or 9 behind you, you almost get lax, but you can't. It also is like mental training for not letting yourself get laxed in those situations and just keep shooting your shot. So, yeah. Jeff says at his age, stay on the ground. Hey, have never. Well, I can't say that. I've killed a couple from the ground, but I've never killed any bucks from the ground. I've had opportunities. I've had one of my most mature bucks I've ever had on the ground with me, with my sister filming one time. That was a good story. If we haven't talked about it on the show, we'll have to talk about it sometime. Yep. No, thank you, Dave, for tuning in, and thanks to everybody for tuning in at home.
That's honestly the whole point of this podcast, Dave, is to just communicate and try and figure things out together and help each other be successful.
Yeah.
Have a few beers and enjoy it.
Yep, and spitball comments and topics back and forth. That's kind of why I started doing live videos like
whether you like them, great. Ago. If you don't, whatever.
Yeah. No,
Move on.
We have a blast doing this, and we hope we're helping a lot of folks, with their questions. And like I said, we're not out here to bash anybody or do, no stupid question's a stupid question, only the one that you don't ask. That's the stupid one, is what we say. But it's getting to be about 8:30 or 8:40 now. We've been at it for about an hour. I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If we, for whatever reason, missed your comment tonight, we apologize, but we hope to catch you guys next time here with 100 Proof. Whether you're tuning in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. If you can't find us there, let us know. Always available on YouTube and Facebook Live, and then Facebook after the fact as well. It's posted. So thank you guys for tuning in. Anything else, Nate? Let's go shoot some rats.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
Is going to be our first sponsor.
Yep. And thank you guys.
Look
for a discount code.
If you want to keep your arrows straight and true, chew some Blue Chew.
And use code 100 Proof at checkout. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.